श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरवे नमः। श्लोक नंबर विवेक चूड़ामणि श्लोक नंबर 452। ज्ञानोदयात् पुरारब्धम् कर्म ज्ञानान्न नश्यति अदत्वा स्वफलं लक्ष्यम् उद्दिश्योत्सृष्टवाणवत्। Once more. ज्ञानोदयात् पुरारब्धम् कर्म ज्ञानान्न नश्यति अदत्वा स्वफलं लक्ष्यम् उद्दिश्योत्सृष्टवाणवत्। ज्ञान उदयात् पुरा आरब्धं कर्म स्वफलम् अदत्वा ज्ञानात् न नश्यति लक्ष्यम् उद्दिश्य उत्सृष्टवाणवत्। ज्ञान उदयात् पुरा, बिफोर the arising of knowledge, आरब्धम कर्म, आरब्ध कर्म means acquired karma, स्वफलम अदत्वा, without giving the fruit of its, ज्ञानात् न नश्यति, the fruit of मतलब ज्ञान होने होने से नष्ट नहीं होना होता है। लक्ष्यम उद्देश्य, लक्ष्य को उद्देश्य करके उत्सृष्ट वाणवत, लाइक द शॉर्ट एरो, कोई लक्ष्य के प्रति फेंका हुआ बाण जैसे लक्ष्य को विद्य ना करके रुकते नहीं, ऐसे ही ज्ञान होने से पूर्व पूर्व में हमारे जो पूर्व पूर्व जन्म में किया हुआ कर्म फल ज्ञान होने पर भी अपना फल ना देकर नष्ट नहीं होता। क्लियर? यहाँ पर भगवान शंकराचार्य जी फिर से प्रारब्ध कर्म के बारे में बोल रहे हैं। ज्ञान होने से मैं मुक्त हूं, मैं मुक्त था, मैं मुक्त ही रहूंगा, ये एहसास होता है, विश्वास होता है। लेकिन प्रारब्ध कर्म ज्ञानी को भी भुगतना पड़ता है। मैं ये शब्द बोलकर भी इसको चेंज करूंगा। ज्ञानी का ऊपर से भी शरीर के ऊपर प्रारब्ध कर्म का फल होता है। मतलब ज्ञानी इसको भोग नहीं करता, उदाहरण क्या दे रहा है? I have shot an arrow. The arrow is running. In between, it's very difficult to stop. He will be stopped only when it pierces its aim. ऐसे ही ज्ञान उदयात पुरा आरब्धम कर्म, ज्ञान होने से पहले जो जो कर्म फल देना चालू कर दिया है, वो फल ज्ञानात न नश्यति। ज्ञान कर्म फल को नश्यात नहीं कर सकते, नष्ट नहीं कर सकते। अदत्वा स्वफलम, फल ना देकर कर्म फल और कर्म नष्ट नहीं होता। ज्ञान होने से संचित कर्म और आगामी कर्म नष्ट हो जाता है, लेकिन प्रारब्ध कर्म नष्ट नहीं होता। प्रारब्ध कर्म इज प्रेग्नेंट, इट विल प्रोड्यूस। प्रारब्ध कर्म फल प्रसव करेगा ही करेगा। ये लोक लक्ष्य की ओर फेंका हुआ तीर और पत्थर की जैसे। लक्ष्यम उद्दिश्य उत्सृष्टवाणवत्। लोक दृष्टि में, जगत की दृष्टि में ज्ञानी भी प्रारब्ध का फल भोग करते हैं, लेकिन उनमें विकार नहीं। दैट्स द डिफरेंस of Ajnani and the other people. The vasanas which have started yielding fruits before the auspicious hour of realization will not cease to yield fruit after realization. At a particular stage in his pilgrimage of life, an individual realizes the truth. Bhagavan Shankaracharya ji, at the age of 12, Vivekananda ji, at the age of 24, Bhagavan Buddha at the age of 42 are some of the examples. But before realization, the individual had already been conceived in his mother's womb and had started his earthly career. The great pilgrimage that has started is in itself an expression of the past vasanas. The karma that has started manifesting does not end because of jnana. Because of its prarabdha, the body continues to exist even after realization. The body has to go through all its experiences because of its past karmas. From the standpoint of the realized man, it is prarabdha of the body, and so it has to live through it. In our case, it is our prarabdha, and hence we suffer through life whether we like it or not. The realized man is not involved in the experiences of the body. It is only others around him who get involved with it. From the external point of view, Ramana Maharshi ji, Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, they had cancer, but they were mentally, intellectually vikaramukta. The body was born to fructify some vasanas if we don't consider them as avatara. As a normal human being who did sadhana and gained knowledge, I'm talking from that standpoint. So body has its own prarabdha, but they were jnani, they acquired knowledge by the grace of Guru, by the grace of Shastra, by the grace of their own self, by doing sadhana according to their own path, mainly Shravanam, Mananam, and Nididhyasanam, whose Shravanam was completed in previous birth. In this birth, only Mananam and Nididhyasanam, like Ramana Maharshi. So, from the external standpoint, their body has six folds vikara changes. There were diseases, but they were not afflicted by the diseases. They were established in supreme bliss, joy, irrespective of involvements of the subject. The prarabdha will not end without yielding its dues. The arrow that has left the bow must reach its target. After leaving the bow, it cannot be stopped. You may change your mind only before it leaves. Once it has left, it shall certainly reach its target. The agami karmas, the future karmas, are the total arrows in your quiver. Out of them, you have taken one, fitted it to the bow, and pulled the string. Even at that point, you can stop it. But having pulled it up to the ear and shot it, you cannot bring it back. It has to pant and exhaust itself. Nothing can be done about it. The body is the arrow which has already started from the mother's womb and has been aimed at the tomb. From the womb to tomb is its journey. In that flight, having started its career, nobody can stop it. One beautiful illustration Bhagavan Shankaracharya ji is giving in the next verse 453. Vyaghra vinirmuktaha panah paschattu gomatau natisthati chinatyeva lakshyam vegena nirvaram. Once more. Vyaghra vinirmuktaha panah paschattu gomatau natisthati chinatyeva lakshyam vegena nirbharam. Thinking it to be a tiger, if an arrow is shot at an object, it does not then stop because it turns out to be a cow. It will pierce it with full force. What a wonderful illustration. व्याघ्र बुद्धिया, मैं सोचा था कि ये एक बाघ है और इसके लिए विनिर्मुक्त वाण, धनुष से मुक्त हुआ वाण, पश्चात तो बाद में गोमतौ, अरे ये तो गाय है, गोमाता है। न तिष्ठति, रुकते नहीं। निर्भरम वेगेन, with a lot of velocity, लक्ष्यम छिन्नत्येव, लक्ष्य को छिन्न भिन्न कर देता। The same thing happened for King Dasharatha. That Shabdabhedi Vana, when he shot, after shooting, he realized that it is not a deer. It's not a deer, but it was Shabdabhedi Vana. So he could not refuse it back. भाग सोचकर तीर लगा दिया, लेकिन बाद में अगर समझ में आया कि अरे ये तो गौ माता है, तब तक आप तीर को वापस, फेंका हुआ तीर को आप वापस नहीं ला पाए। न तिष्ठति छिन्नत्येव लक्ष्यम वेगेन निर्भरम, वो वाण रुकता नहीं, अत्यंत वेग के साथ लक्ष्य वस्तु को छिन्न भिन्न कर देते। वेगेन निर्भरम, बहुत जोर से, जैसे जिस जोर से, जिस फोर्स से उसको फेंका हुआ है, ऐसे ही फोर्स से वो आघात करेगा उनका टारगेट को। गोमाता भी विद्ध हो सकता है। प्रारब्ध कर्म भी ऐसे ही काम करते हैं। प्रायशः हम लोग देखते हैं कि अत्यंत अच्छा इंसान भयानक कष्ट भोग कर रहा है, ये प्रारब्ध के लिए होता है। हम लोगों को कितना कितना कष्ट है, आध्यात्मिक कष्ट, आधी दैविक कष्ट, आधी भौतिक कष्ट। आध्यात्मिक कष्ट मतलब हमारे अपने शरीर और मन की कष्ट। हर कष्ट हर वक्त शरीर में नहीं हो। अगर कोई बुरा खबर आ जाए तो शरीर में नहीं, मन में कष्ट होता है। और ये हमारे शरीर और मन की कष्ट प्रारब्ध के लिए होता है। प्रारब्ध के लिए ज्ञानी का भी कभी कभी भूल हो जाता है, लेकिन उन लोग तुरंत खुद को वापस ला सकते हैं, क्योंकि उन लोग ऑलरेडी शरीर और मन को खुद से अलग कर पाए। Hunter, thinking that there was a tiger, aimed an arrow at it and shot it. As the arrow whizzed towards the target, the hunter recognized it to be a cow. Now, what could he do? By his revised knowledge, the arrow does not stop it in its flight. Certainly, it strikes its target with full force. The knowledge that it is a cow does not change or modify the direction of the arrow. In the past, thinking that you are the body, you let loose many arrows of thoughts and desires. In the midst of this suffering, you realize the truth. Still, biologically, physically, you are the son of your father, the father of your children, and the husband of your wife, or the wife of your husband, or perhaps means of any relationship. Once the thoughts have been wished and willed in a particular direction, they have to take their course and come to manifestation in the given body. The body has to go through the convulsions of enjoyments and sufferings. No one can stop this. The agami and the sanchita can be eliminated, but not the prarabdha. That is the prarabdha of the body, not of the realized individual, for he who lives in it has no more identification with his body. That's why we see a boy, a girl is dying at very tender age, teenage, early youth, out of our relationship, out of our attachment, out of our misconception. We have owned, we tried to own, we thought that he is my son, she is my daughter, like this, like that, and we can't bear. We start blaming God that what the fault, mistake, sin I made that you have given me. This sort of pain. We forget that each and every individual is jiva. They are born to suffer or enjoy their own vasanas, own prarabdha. Whenever the prarabdha gets exhausted, the body will fall down like a dried leaf. We can't help it. If it was not, then the owner of the hospital could not die because he is having hundreds of the best specialists, whatever it is required. But when the prarabdha gets over, no hospital, no doctors, no medicine work. Prarabdha is over. But out of our prarabdha, we are in deep sorrow. That is also out of prarabdha we are suffering. The agami and the sanchita can be eliminated, but not the prarabdha. That is the prarabdha of the body, not of the realized individual, for he who lives in it has no more identification with his body. ज्ञानी के लिए ये मृत्यु एक उत्सव है. From next verse onwards, Bhagavan Shankaracharya is discussing that prarabdha and how it works for the man of realization. Prarabdham balavattaram khalu vidam bhogena tasya kshayaha samyajnana hutashanena vilayaha praksanchitagaminam brahmatmaikyame brahmatmaikyavekshya तन्मया तया ये सर्वदा संस्थिताः तेषां तत्त्रितयं नहि क्वचिदपि ब्रह्मैव ते निर्गुणम्. Once more. प्रारब्धं बलवत्तरं खलु विदां भोगेन तस्य क्षयम् सम्यग्ज्ञानहुताशनेन विलयः प्राक्सञ्चितागामिनाम् ब्रह्मात्मैक्यम अवेक्ष्य तन्मयतया ये सर्वदा संस्थिताः तेषां तत्त्रितयं नहि कचिदपि ब्रह्मैव ते निर्गुणम्. The first two lines, prarabdham balavattaram khalu vidam bhogena tasya kshayaha samyak jnana hutashanena vilayaha praksanchitagaminam. It is from the standpoint of ahankara. And then next two line is from the standpoint of Atma. Brahmatmaikyam avekshya tanmayataya ye sarvada samsthitaha tesham tattritayam nahi vachidapi. That is very important. Tesham tatritayam nahi kvachidapi brahmaiva te nirgunam. I will come word for word meaning. So, क्या बोल रहा है? विद्याम खलु प्रारब्धम बलवत्तरम तस्य भोगेन क्षयः सम्यक् ज्ञान हुताशनेन प्राक् संचित आगामिनां विलयः ब्रह्म आत्मा ऐक्यम अवेक्ष्य ये सर्वदा तन्मयतया संस्थिताः तेषां क्वचिद् अपि तत्त्रितयं नहि ते ब्रह्मैव निर्गुणम् विद्याम हियर विद्या मीन्स एक ज्ञानी के लिए विद्यावान के लिए खलु अवश्य प्रारब्धम प्रारब्ध कर्म बलवत्तरम मतलब ये जरूर फल देता है अवधारित फल देगा देगा ही देगा तस्य उनके भोगेन क्षयः भोग के द्वारा ही प्रारब्ध कर्म क्षय होता है सम्यक ज्ञान हुताशनेन जो ज्ञान श्रेष्ठ है वो ज्ञानाग्नि के द्वारा प्राक संचित आगामी नाम पूर्व में संचित और आगामी सारे कर्म की विलय लोप हो जाता है ब्रह्म आत्मा ऐक्यम ब्रह्म और आत्मा की ऐक्य एकत्वम द सुप्रीम सेल्फ एंड द इंडिविजुअल सेल्फ द वननेस अवेक्ष दर्शन करके ये सर्वदा जो व्यक्ति निरंतर तन्मयतया एकात्मकता के साथ तन्मय हो गया संस्थिताः अवस्थान करते हैं तेषाम उन व्यक्तियों की क्वचित अपि कभी भी तत्त्रितयम नहीं ये तीन नहीं रहता ते ब्रह्म एव निर्गुणम वो व्यक्ति ब्रह्म ही है निर्गुण है In the next class, we will elaborate it.